and welcome to yet another episode of We Talk Talent. Today we have a very special guest, Lata Chemudupati, Head People and Culture, Netconnect Global. She's an HR professional with over 16 years of experience. Lata started her career as a campus hire in GECIS and went on to work with HCL Technologies in employee experiences and now taking care of people, practices, and thus culture at NCG. In her current role, she has revamped the HR practice through automation, structured processes, workflows, and policies and implementation to enhance employee belongingness and satisfaction. Her experience across IT and ITS organizations has given her deeper insights into the people and experiences and how every business is defined by the people, process, and technologies it deploys. She is keen on exploring technology and analytics to improve human experiences. Welcome to the show, Lata. So good to have you here.
Thank you for the invite. It's my pleasure to come over today.
Thank you so much, Lata. I really liked your profile, what you do, because in the last few years, thanks to COVID, but people are talking about people experiences, human experiences, and how technology can help it. So, and I think you are very much keen on learning technology, exploring technology. So, I would like to ask you my first question. How is your industry tackling the challenges that the workplace has gone through over the past few years? If you could share a brief overview with us.
I think the corporate world has become really interesting now after COVID because that was a phase which nobody imagined could happen. And we successfully crossed that with the minimal loss of jobs all around the world. But in the process, all of us have learned to appreciate life and the different aspects of life. Earlier, I think there was maybe a 10 or a 20% of we not appreciating the life, the time what we have, the relations which we have, and what we are blessed with. So these 2 years have given us a lot of insights and has made us realize that life is much more than a job or much more than whatever we were giving more importance to, which as a result has helped all of us become better individuals and better humans is what I believe. And at the same time, it has given us a lot of opportunity to improve what we already have. Because life is all about improvisations, right? What better, what next? And that is how we go about things. So, coming to NCG, I would want to talk about our organization. We have two sets of employees, one who are at the client location or the client facing ones whom we know as the on-site employees, and then there is the off-site employees, people like me who work out of our office as such to improve what we can and help our employees do better. But irrespective of the category of employees, our policies are uniform across the organization. Any employee group, the same set of policies apply. So this has brought in a lot of fairness in the system, and employees have started appreciating the same. Like some of us are working on a full-time mode, right? And some of us work on a consultant or a part-time mode. So when policies are same, which means all of them are treated same. So that has helped in bring in a lot of transparency and fairness of our practices, and in the process help more in the bonding. So, though we have a bifurcation of the work models, which we call work from home, work from office, work from anywhere, work from on site, when the policies are same, it really helps the team come together and work and perform better. So that has helped us, and we were surprised when we took a vote as to what people would want, and most of them voted to come back to office. So that was a blessing for us because now most of the companies are struggling to call their people back to work. So for us, that was a plus. So that was something, when we gave them a lot of flexibility, they really appreciated it. And that also brought in a lot of trust between the employer and the employee, basis of which productivity has gone up, adaptability has gone up. So now when we are adapting a lot of these new technologies, new tools coming in, whether it is an ATS or whether it is a HRMS tool, we see people adopting and adapting to it really fast, and they have made it as a way of life. So implementation cycles have come down. So all of these have added. Apart from that, we changed the way we look at employee benefits. Earlier, employee benefit was simply like an insurance, right? You give an insurance, or you top up the insurance, and people were happy with that. But now we felt that employees need more, because we need to help them become rounded professionals. So we have changed the way we started offering the benefits. So now we call them as the wellness benefits rather than health benefits or whatever. And why are they called wellness benefits? Because not only are the physical aspect of wellness taken care of, we are also taking care of their mental wellness and their holistic wellness. So these kind of programs again has helped people uh, break down whatever barriers they had in terms of changes, or in terms of how they look at the employer. So we are building a very strong emotionally strong workforce, is what I can say. And I think that is the need of the hour, where we would need people to be more emotional and empathetic towards the others, so that we work and bond together. So, apart from this, even the employee engagement activities, if you see all around now, employee engagement is not simply putting a rangoli or wearing ethnic clothes, right? It's gone beyond. So these kinds of smaller initiatives have changed the way people look at work or look at work from office, and these has helped us tackle the different challenges which keep coming on a regular basis, right? Because that's life.
Exactly. Thank you so much for taking us through the entire journey, what went, and how you are tackling it, and some of the examples as well. You spoke about employees. One of the very important aspect of employees are workers, are gig workers, and gig economy is on rise as well. So, what are some of the most prominent challenges organizations in India face to utilize the gig economy at its full potential?
So before I come on to gig economy, I would talk about our different hiring strategies. So because that is directly related to our diverse kinds of hirings, what we are doing. And if you would have seen some of the posts about Netconnect Global, we have been awarded India's best workplaces for women for the year 2022 in the mid-size category. So those were all well thought of strategies. They didn't happen overnight, right? You need to prepare for that. You need to work for that, and you need to prove and show people that we genuinely care. So right from the hiring platforms, we brought in a lot of variety in the hiring platforms itself, rather than going through the regular process of hiring through Naukri or hiring through whatever. We have brought in different channels. So what we see now is the hiring through indirect channels has increased tremendously, like referrals. Like when you are a good brand, people apply to you rather than you go hunting for resources and all of it. So these have helped. And when we changed the different hiring platforms, we also started getting requests for gig workers. And that is when we started realizing that though there is an availability of talent in terms of gig workers, but I think India as a country is still not prepared for it fully. We do not have many of these regulatory postures in place with respect to gig workers, as to how should we take care of them, what kind of social benefits to give them. Even from the legal requirements, we do not know what kind of say an employment contract do you structure with them, because everybody is still trying to understand the wage code which is yet to come. And until and unless you understand what is defined in the wage code as to who is an employee, who can be considered as a part-time employee, or who can be considered as a gig employee and all, I think going about the process of hiring gig workers is a little slow as of now, because all the employers and organizations are still waiting to understand in clarity, so that either the employee or the employer is not at a loss. Because see, it is a an employment contract is an equal contract, right? Equally applicable to both the sides. So if we do not know what are the rules which are applicable, it becomes a little difficult. We need to understand what are the benefits of gig workers. We need to understand what are the legal postures, and there is a huge talent base which is available, which can be tapped. And for us, India, it is an advantage. We've got a huge population, which means we have more talent available. And if you see in tier 2, tier 3 cities also, nowadays everybody understands the importance of education, which means the probability of getting talented resources is really high. So we are blessed. So I think the faster we put down all these regulatory and legal postures and requirements, the faster we can start tapping these people.
Exactly. Now, let's move on from gig economy and focus on something very important yet very basic. How do you see the importance of skills evolving in the future? When I say skills, I'm talking about soft skills. What are your thoughts?
I think soft skills is the game changer now, because now you see, when earlier we used to hire people, it was basically on their IQ, their intelligence, their skills, their technical skills, basically.
Yeah.
Then we moved on to the passion quotient, and but now we are slowly moving on to the emotional quotient. Because as I said earlier, we have a huge pool of talented people. But how do you differentiate between talent? I think it's the emotional quotient, it's the emotional intelligence. Working with a team is not easy, trying to understand the other person and then working with that person and getting the best out of him. So, me as a person, for example, I believe in working with the strengths of the people. Because see, changing people is not a possibility, right? Because they come with
Yeah.
inherent qualities. So, working with the strengths is something really important. And for that, the person needs to understand, first of all, what is their strength. And that is where a great manager plays a very important role. So, emotional intelligence, if you see, there are lots of aspects to it, okay? First of all, is your awareness, your self awareness, and then empathy, motivation, and then your communication skills. It's really important that you communicate well and clear. Doesn't mean that you need to use fancy words, but as long as the other person understands. Because organizations are made of teams, and teams have to work together for the maximum productivity, right? So I think that is where it is. And which is why, if you see, a lot of emphasis is there on qualitative training, soft skills, how to speak, how to even write mails. And you got lots of these videos also on
Yeah.
the internet. You got email etiquettes happening, you got lots of things happening, right? So I think all of us do understand it's really important to have.
Exactly. Yeah, very well said that organizations are made up of teams, and very rightly mentioned as well how to write emails. I read some of my earlier mails like a decade back and what I used to write to the industry leaders. So not very proud of that. But coming to my last question, you said team, you said people, you said their experiences, their soft skill, but it's all when they come on board. It's all about hiring. So, can you share some of the most prominent challenges you faced in the TS space and your strategies to overcome them?
So, if you see today's available talent, you have people who are from Gen X also, and you have people from Gen Z also.
So,
So,
how
it's
do
a
their expectations differ from those the previous generations?
So I think today's set of people are very awoke. They know what they want in life. It's very simple for them, right? This is what I want, and wherever I get that, I will go there. So if you see, the fancy of working with great organizations or really big organizations is changing. Now they are ready to experiment. They are ready to even join startups as long as their curiosity is satisfied, their learning is satisfied, and they're able to experiment. If you, I'm not sure about you, I've got a teenage kid at home, and they've been born with
Ditto.
technology, right?
Not teenage, but uh, very young.
Yeah, so they're born with technology, right? They know an iPad, they know a phone, they know everything. So for them, the knowledge, exposure is huge. And for the way they grasp things and understand is also very fast, correct? So for them, if you see, their attention span is also very small.
Yeah.
So you need to get their attention fast, and you need to tell them upfront what is in it for them. Otherwise, it's just out of sight, out of mind for them. And if you see, they're very vocal in how they express. So how we have channelized all of this is we have a lot of town halls, where we ask them for their feedback. And it's so nice to see them give feedback to the other person. And the other person could be the CEO. They really do not mind giving the feedback, right? They speak their mind, which is really good when you're thinking of newer ways of working, newer innovations at workplace and all. It's really good. But they want flexibility at work. You cannot tie them to 9:30 to 6:30 schedule, right? They want to come when they want to come, and they would want to work when they feel creatively the best. So working with them is a little different, which means that you need to change your policies a little bit, and so that you have them accommodated. But then small tweaks bring in lots of results. And if you've seen, for everything they have a question, and they want answers upfront. They do not like a lot of diplomacy and all of it. They like the answers upfront as is. So working with them is like, on your toes all the time. You have to give them a lot of learnings and trainings so that their curiosity and their itch to learn is satisfied at all points of time. So I'm happy that we have these sets of people also, because I need to be on my toes at all points of time to design all of these things.
I think you have explained it really well. The challenges, the prominent challenges, and also how Gen Z is different and what are the expectations different. If I try to say, they're vocal, they're crystal clear, and they're curious as well.
Yeah,
Correct?
and if you see the way they structure their life, they want a perfect work-life balance.
Yes.
See, Gen X, when they came to work, for them, work was everything, right? For them, it was like 80% of their life was work. And they were ready to, work and, work more and then forget family and all of it. Uh, I'm not sure if all of them would agree, but that is what I feel. But nowadays, kids, you see, they're very particular that I will work only from this time to this time. Otherwise, they wouldn't. So that is something which is crystal clear with them, and I think that is good in a way.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lata. It was lovely hosting you, and asking you questions. You have really explained each and everything in such detailing. I really liked it. Some of the lines you said about organizations, how people make organizations, what are the experience, how experience matters, and especially about the Gen Z part. So thank you so much.